Stu Taylor. I'm joined by Richard Myers. He's the Vice President of Policy. Let me start over. Eyesight here. All right. Richard Myers joining us. He's the Vice President of Policy Development for the Nuclear Energy Institute located in Washington, D.C. It's great to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
I want to take you out of that Washington political environment, which doesn't do anybody any good. We make all of these rather apolitical. So tell me, what is your function? I've already given out your title, but what's the primary objective of the Nuclear Energy Institute?
We're the trade association for the U.S. nuclear power industry. So we represent all the companies that own and operate the nuclear power plants that provide about 20% of America's electricity. We handle their government relations, we manage the technical issues. It's a very heavily regulated industry, so we manage the relationships with the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, and we run a large public affairs program.
I'm apolitical in this, I'm non-partial, but it's a strong belief that we, due to all the negative publicity, have had a total misrepresentation of what nuclear power can do. All we have to do is look at France, so heavily dependent upon it. And yet, a lot of this media generated that causes political upheaval and therefore kind of an anti-nuclear stance says, well, take a look at what happened in Chernobyl. Take a look at what happened in Japan. Take a look at 3 Mile Island. Dangerous. Shouldn't touch it. In essence, it was fairly safe then, and it's even safer now.
It's even safer now. These plants operate at very, very high levels of availability. They run 90–95% of the time. You wouldn't get that kind of performance if you weren't focused on safety, focused on maintenance, making sure that everything was by the book, paying attention to detail. Safety for us, you know, in real estate they say that only one thing counts: location, location, location. In nuclear power, only one thing counts, and that's safety, safety, and safety.
Where do you see the potential for nuclear power development? You know, you got oil, you got gas, you got coal, which I think is also taking a bad rap. You know, we keep hearing about dirty coal, and yet we have the ability to become energy independent. I saw a dialogue at a major conference. I can't remember everybody at it, but there were strong proponents of what nuclear energy could do. How do you see it, Richard, within the whole overall picture as the share of the energy space it should take?
Well, in the near term, we have 104 plants operating. They provide about 1/5 of the electricity we use in this country. We're just beginning the construction of new plants. We have 4 plants under construction in Georgia and South Carolina. In the very near term, with natural gas prices extremely low and the economy struggling to get back on its feet and electricity demand is down, we're not going to build a great deal of anything in this country. But as we look out towards 2020 and beyond 2020, we just don't see any way to supply U.S. electricity demand without a growing share from nuclear power. And around the world, the business is booming. There are 60-odd reactors under construction around the world and another 150 planned.
All right, finally, your impressions of the HiAlpha Energy Investment Conference.
Seems like a very productive, very useful undertaking.